We cannot control circumstances. That's a given, okay? There was an earthquake last week. Cool. All right. Can't do fuck all about that. But how we react to that earthquake is within our control. My boyfriend dumped me. Okay, cool. It happens. That's life. So are you going to go and, seek revenge on him because of him breaking up with you? Or are you going to get on with your life and stop living through his? It just comes back down to the mindset. Hey legends, what is happening? Welcome to another episode of the Interchange podcast. And today you're stuck with me again. We have a solo episode, but before we go any further, remember that these solo episodes are specifically for you guys. So if there's anything you'd like me to cover, any topics, anything you'd like me to talk on, please let me know. Send me a message, shoot me a DM. I've had a couple of requests, and today's is actually a request from one of my really good friends. If you've been watching the show for a while, you would have seen him on the first episode. So Danny West has requested this one, and we're going to be talking about victim mindset, which is something that we've been talking about for years, me and Danny. We've spoken on it many times and seen a lot of our friends go through this stage of being stuck in a victim mindset. Hey, hello. Sorry for interrupting your podcast, but I just wanted to quickly jump on and tell you about the must-have personal development tool for 2023, and it's called the Happier, Healthier You Journal. So I'll take you back to about 6 years ago. I'd just gotten out of jail for the last time and was starting my journey of personal development and growth. There was heaps of gurus, heaps of information available, but so much so that it became confusing. So I came up with the Happier, Healthier You Journal to help you to navigate what can be an absolute minefield. From the very get-go, you open the page and it'll challenge you to dive deep with self-assessments, daily activities, and check-ins to figure out exactly where you're at, where you'd like to be. And then from there, the journal becomes the tool to help you to bridge that gap. So to get your hands on this, click on the link below and don't forget to use Interchange 10 at checkout for a cheeky 10% off. I'll see you back over on the episode. And I feel like this victim mindset is something that I've seen a lot in my life with the people that I grew up around and also in myself for a very long time. So we'll dive into that. But like I said, if there's anything that you guys want me to cover, shoot me a message so I can get that value to you guys, because this is about you guys. It's not about me. I don't get any endorsement or anything from this show yet. But if you are someone that wants to sponsor me, by all means, reach out. But yeah, this is honestly just to give you guys as much value as possible and hopefully create some small change in someone's life. But a victim mindset. So when I talk about victim mindset, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For me, it's, someone that's been a victim in a crime or something like that. But when it comes to victim mindset, this is you playing the victim in every area of your life. So when something happens to you, let's just say, or I should say it happens for you. Once again, it's that victim mindset happening to you or happening for you. It's just a shift in the mindset, because every experience we have is something we can learn from. But let's just say that something happens for you. You get into a car accident, okay? Shit situation, okay? So look at the circumstances. Was it your fault? Was it someone else's fault? Okay, cool. This thing has happened. Now you can carry on about, poor me. I got in the car accident. It's ruined my life. I'm up for this money now. I've got to pay the excess because I was at fault, and poor me, poor me, poor me. Or you can look at the situation and go, hey, okay, I was in a car accident. Was the other person okay? What can I do to overcome this situation? What's something that I can do that'll make this go away easier? What is the one thing that we can do right now that will help sort the situation out? Cool, we'll exchange details. I'll make sure the other person's okay, make sure that no ambulances need to be called, rather than going, poor me, my fucking car. Once again, it comes back to the mindset. And we need to have that shift in mindset so we can start to see the positives in every situation. So I'm going to give you a bit of my backstory with victim mindset. So I grew up in a family, which pretty average family. So we had mum, dad, and I had a sister, a dog, all that sort of stuff. Went to good schools. Got raised pretty well, but something that I saw that played out for me from about age 13 when my parents split up was that mum had a very victim mindset, and this carried on over to me. And this was dad left mum. It was a shitty situation. Cheated on her, all that sort of stuff. Came out in the wash later down the track. And to us, we're like, dad left us. And obviously we had the things that mum was telling us were poisoning our minds around our dad. So we were blaming him for everything. And mum was doing the same thing. She was blaming him for everything. She was blaming him for everything that was happening in her life at the time, and why she wasn't where she wanted to be, why she was miserable, all this sort of stuff. And I saw that growing up. So for me, it was like, well, it's everyone else's fault. So then I started to outsource blame to everyone else for everything in my life. So I'd get in trouble with the police. It's dad's fault because he left us. So this is why I am the way I am. I'd do something and mum would be upset about it. This is your fault because of the way you treat us and you push us and you try and treat us like we're a student because you're a teacher and whatever it might be. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt again, but if you're liking what you see so far, don't forget to like and subscribe and share with your friends. Remember, all your support is really appreciated and I'll see you back over on the episode. Even down to getting locked up and going to jail. It's the police's fault. I fucking hate the police. Rah, 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 rah. So you can sort of see where this goes and how it sort of plays out. If we continue to outsource the blame for everything in our life, then nothing's ever going to get better. Anyways, God love my mum, but she has had that victim mindset for as long as I can remember now. And growing up around that meant that was what we took on. My sister was the same, I was the same, and we're both doing the work now to try and overcome that. But at the end of the day, we can't blame our parents for who we are today because they did the best with what they had. And now as a conscious human being and a conscious adult, it's up to me to take the blame and realize that I need to take ownership for where I'm at in my life. That'd be another good topic for another podcast, right? Ownership. We might actually talk about that on the next one. But so this victim mindset really didn't serve me at all. I would get in relationships and get broken up with. And I was like, how could you do this to me? Poor me, poor me, poor me. I'd tell everyone about it. I was playing the victim at school. I was that kid that whinged and bitched about how bad life was. This was me as a child. Polar opposite to now. Literally polar opposite. To who I am today. But anyone that went to school with me, I apologize. Sorry for bringing you into my pity party. But that's just the way that I was raised. That's all I saw was what mum was doing and the way that she was living her life. Even to now, there's still so much hate towards my dad for certain situations. Whereas if she was able to let go of that hate, life would get so much better for her almost overnight. Yeah, rather than focusing on the things that aren't good in her life, she could start to focus on the things that were good. And this is where the victim mindset comes into play. So the victim mindset only allows us to see things from the perspective of a victim. So, poor me, this has happened for me. You did this to me. Why did you do that? All these sorts of things, all this dialogue that we have that then comes up and makes us see the world in a negative light. If anyone that watches the news, you'd see this day in and day out. Okay, you watch the news and it's doom and gloom and, this country's doing this to this country and poor Bob down the road got abused by X, Y, and Z and this house got broken into and there's a bad crime spree at the moment. You don't see anything but doom and gloom. And this just makes us see everything through a negative lens. And that's what the victim mindset does as well. It allows you to look at everything through the mindset of a victim, which keeps you stuck in that pattern of, something happens, oh, poor me. Something happens to you, poor me. Something happens to you, poor me. This is the thing. We're all going to have shit happen in our life. It doesn't matter, okay? Life is not meant to be fucking easy. But you know what does make it really easy? Is the way that you deal with things and the way that you take things on board. English, let's try that again. So yeah, the way that you take things on board will really dictate how easy life is for you. So if you're continuously playing the victim, and let's just say that your house gets broken into and you're telling everyone about it, it's so terrible, oh my God, and you're playing into the fear, and then all your friends, you go and tell them and they validate how you're feeling about it. Do you think that's going to help to break the cycle and get you out of that negative mindset and have you, actually moving on with your life? Fuck no. It's not. It's definitely not. And this is the thing, we all have those friends. And for my mum, it's my auntie, okay? So her sister. So she'll go, oh, Benjamin's been such a bad boy. And then my auntie will be going, oh, yes, that's so terrible. You're so entitled to feel the way that you feel. Obviously not like that, but they bounce things off each other and they validate each other. And it's like, yes, I am right. That's right. I'm in the right here. Which isn't the best way to go about things. Right? So anyone that's validating the way you feel when it comes to being a victim is definitely not your friend. There's someone that's probably stuck in that pity party as well. Or maybe they're just not knowing how to get out of that. So they could be your friend, but they're stuck as well. This is not going to help you. So first of all, to get out of your pity party and get out of that victim mindset, look at the people you surround yourself with. When you have something shit happen, are they offering advice on how to overcome that? Or are they just sitting there going, oh, you poor thing, you must feel so terrible? Are they actually validating what you're saying? Because that's going to be the first point, the people you surround yourself with. And 9 times out of 10, the people you surround yourself with are the people you become. 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, I should say. But 9 times out of 10, the problem is the people you surround yourselves with. So, and you'll start to notice that if you start to shift your mindset, you'll start to notice that these people that you're surrounding yourself with that used to, be your best mates because you go and you could go and bitch and moan to them over and over and over, and they just come to the party with what you're saying. Those people are actually keeping you stuck in that victim mindset. So that's the first thing to look at is who are the people you surround yourself with and how is their mindset? And then the second thing is, okay, how can you start to become the victor in your story? Because this is the thing. We can be the victim to our circumstances or the victor in our winning story. And that's the thing. We write our own story. We are the author. We decide how things play out. We decide how we look at things. That is completely up to us. We cannot control circumstances. That's a given, okay? There was an earthquake last week. Cool. All right. Can't do fuck all about that. But how we react to that earthquake is within our control. My boyfriend dumped me. Okay, cool. It happens. That's life. So are you going to go and, seek revenge on him because of him breaking up with you? Or are you going to get on with your life and stop living through his? It just comes back down to the mindset. And if you continue to play the victim in your life, you're never going to get anywhere. So back to my story. Once again, all police are pieces of shit. I fucking hate cops because I went to jail. But if I actually look at what the real reason for me going to jail was, it was because I did shit that wasn't great for society and was against the community. Okay, I sold drugs, I stole cars, I got in fights, I did all that sort of shit. So really, the reason that I was in prison was completely on me. And when you have that revelation that where you are in your life right now is completely your responsibility, and if you want to make a change to it and you don't like the way things are, it's up to you, then that will change your life forever. So instead of looking at the negatives in every situation and looking at what you don't have and having that victim mindset, poor me, look at him, he's absolutely killing it. Get the fuck out there and do the work. Yeah? People talk about these overnight successes. An overnight success, they say, takes about 10 years to come about. You don't see the work that they do beforehand, okay? But social media makes things like, oh my God, this guy just blew up overnight. We didn't know anything about this person. Then all of a sudden, like Alex Hormozi, for instance, like no one saw him for a long time and all of a sudden he's everywhere. Andrew Tate, same with him, okay? Like all these figures that people are just like overnight success, overnight success, overnight success. No. There was all the work that went in behind the scenes that no one really knew about. And then all of a sudden there's these overnight successes. That's a load of shit. So if you want to make a change in your life, if you want to have a better mindset, remember, you have to do the work to get there. Yeah, so that victim mindset is keeping you stuck. And rather than focusing, like I said, on what you don't have, start to focus on the things that you do. Start to look at every situation and look for a lesson. Look for that silver lining in that situation, because every situation we have in our life, everything, no matter positive or negative, that's a tag that we add to the experience. There is no good or bad. There is just experiences, right? And what we do from those experiences is completely up to us. Okay? This is probably going to sound really bad, but death even. Okay? Death doesn't have to be a negative thing either, right? For instance, like I've had family members that have died and been in the most excruciating pain, riddled with cancer. And to me, it's like, well, they're going to a better place because they were living so fucking much pain at the end of their life. And everyone's so sad. But I'm sure that person was probably actually in a better place after they left because of the pain they were going through. For me, that's the way I see death. It's like, okay, cool. If you've had a good life and you've done the most with your life, why does it have to be a negative thing? Yeah? That's a little bit off topic, but back to the victim mindset. So I want you to think about one thing in your day that, would generally piss you off. He cut me off in traffic. That person's a piece of shit. Whatever it might be. What about that comment that happened on my story? Okay. Oh my God, that person commented on my post and it was so negative. Man, if you're getting attention from that person, you're doing something right. There is no such thing as bad publicity. And if anything, they're actually helping you with the algorithm by putting more attention into your posts. So how you take that on board is completely up to you. But think about how you are seeing things through the mindset of a victim or through the mindset of a victor. I'm overweight. Oh, poor me, I'm so overweight. I'm just going to go eat more fucking donuts. No, get the fuck off the couch and do something about it. That's how you become the victor. Okay, if you keep staying stuck in that victim mindset, you're going to continue to have the same thing play out in your life time and time again until something changes and you make that change. Let's just say you lose your job. Poor me, I lost my job. Okay, cool. Well, how did you lose your job? Was it because you weren't doing the work? Was it because your boss was a piece of shit? Was it because something went wrong with your coworkers? Was it something you did? Okay, if it wasn't something you did, how can you bring a positive out of this, and how can you learn from it? Cool. You know what? You hated your fucking job anyway, so it's a blessing in disguise because now you've got countless opportunities. Yes, it's going to be hard at first because you haven't got a job and you need to make money, but you'll always get there if you want to do the work. You'll always get another job. People say that it's so hard to get work these days. I think that's a load of shit. If you really desperately wanted work, if you really wanted to get a job, you'd go out and get one, okay? Even if it means stacking shelves from now. It's a means to an end. You have to do the work to get to where you want to be. You know, you have to start somewhere. My first job was McDonald's. That's where I started my work. And unfortunately from there, that's where I started selling drugs and then went to jail. Did a long time, doing that sort of shit. And that's what got me to where I am today. But it doesn't happen overnight. Yeah, this stuff doesn't happen overnight. And once again, I could have been the victim in jail. Oh, poor me. The police did this. I could have bought into the bullshit that I was surrounded by because the environment in jail is exactly that. It's the mindset of a victim rather than the mindset of a victor. But no, I was like, okay, cool. After the last time I went to jail, which was for a year and a half. Actually, no, I went one time after that. But the last time I got out of jail, I was like, okay, I'm going to study my PT course. And then that gave me my means to an end. It was like, cool, I'm going to start PTing. Had no idea what I was doing. No idea what I was doing. I was nervous as hell. It was one of those things. And I didn't do great at first. So I could have gone back to another job and been the victim there. But I was like, no, I'm not going to go back to another job. I'm going to see where I am falling short and start to do the work on that shit. And that's what it comes down to. So you can continue to play the victim in your story, or you can reflect and have a look at where you're going wrong. Because this is the thing: if you're the victim, and there's a pattern of you being the victim, then there's one common denominator, and surprise, surprise, it's you. So take a step back, have a look at where you're at, and look for how you can start to find the silver lining in every aspect of your life and everything that happens. So I hope that's given you guys some value today because the victim mindset is something that so many of us get stuck in. I've seen countless friends, I've seen countless relatives, I've seen countless family members and co-workers, people that I've worked with in the past that are all stuck in this victim mindset. But when you start to make that shift to one of a victor and start to find the silver lining in everything in life, then life just gets so much better. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast, life isn't easy. It's not meant to be. But when you have the victor mindset and you have, become the victor in your winning story, it does become a lot more simple because you know how to deal with things. If you continue to feed into your own pity and continue to look for that validation of your negativity and your victim mindset, you're going to continue to find it. Because I can guarantee there's thousands and thousands of hundreds of thousands of people in the world that are doing the same. So you're always going to find those people. But if you start to look for people to surround yourself with that have more of a victim mindset and start with yourself as well, life's going to get a fuckload better. I can guarantee that. By the way, as you've probably noticed, I am back swearing a little bit, but I did the Break the Habit Challenge and I have noticed that since doing the Break the Habit Challenge, I have reduced the amount of swearing. My podcast used to contain a lot more swearing, I think. I don't know if I'm wrong and you think I still swear too much. By all means, let me know. I'm all for the positive criticism. So give me the feedback. And guys, remember as well that this victim mindset is something you can overcome by yourself. But if that is something you'd like some support with, feel free to reach out. I do have a few spots available for my coaching, and that I guess the victim mindset is something we work through. So we look at insecurities, triggers and traumas, where your mindset and stories and conditioning come from, and then how we can start to overwrite that. So if that's something you're interested in, you'd like to go a little bit deeper into this stuff, by all means, I'd love to be a part of your winning story and I'd love to be a part of your journey. So shoot me a message. If you click the link, it's in my bio. It'll take you through to the coaching applications. There is an application process. I don't take everyone on. You have to be the right fit. So, if you are interested in finding out more, we can jump on a call and go from there. And I'd love to work with you. Anyways, guys, hope that has given you some value. I will see you on the next episode. Have an amazing weekend, weekday, whatever day it is that you're watching this, and I'll see you soon.